Hey guys, and welcome back to the Unbothered podcast. Today we are sitting down and having a special interview with an OG legend himself, Mr. Syrus Yarbrough. Thank you so much for joining us, taking the time out of your very busy schedule to kind of have a sit down, especially because, we saw the last couple of days, you guys have had a lot of fun in Michael Jackson's mansion, celebrating the Godfather's 50th birthday. How did you pull that off?
I mean, this is what I do. This is what I've done forever. I'm really good friends with the owner, good friend of mine, Steve Mayer, very prominent businessman in Los Angeles. And we play basketball together for like the last 20 years and just really good friends. And since I do events and have done events all over, I'm like, it's my man's 50th. He put together and helped out the whole struggle and grind of the All-Star Challenge happening. You did this for me. I'm gonna do this for you. And didn't even tell them what was going on. People didn't know it was gonna be at his house. I had my RSVP list filled a week before. Mm-hmm. Then I got 500 phone calls from randoms that shouldn't have known about it. And then the location was not revealed. And then calls, I'm talking, I was hundreds over the limit and had to change times and change days just to throw them a little shake on people. It's a lot going on, guys. Like I can't believe I pulled it off. I could have done it without my business partner though, that I'm working with. I do events from weddings to bar mitzvahs, whatever it is you need me to do, we do. I not only set it up, but I do also host and marry people. And my business partner, we met years ago at spring break when I had my spring break company down there in South Padre, Texas. And since then, we've been doing business and he is killing it. My buddy, Johnny Donovan, he's a monster. And like, when it comes to these events, people don't realize all the moving parts that it takes to make something like this happen. And there's a lot of moving parts. And like my partner, Johnny Donovan, came through like a dog. I'm still like enamored at the way we really put this together and kept it a secret for so long. And so many people wanted to know and didn't know what was going on. It was like, it was a beautiful hurricane of fun.
Well, I wish I had been there. But,
Well, you know what? From this point forward, I mean, I'll be doing many others. From this point forward, it'll be a little more open to more people because I won't have all the responsibility of being responsible for the Michael Jackson mansion, which I party at quite frequently, but it's like an extra thing on my shoulders. When you're friends with someone, you do business with as well, you have to more than respect. The thing is upward 25K an event, and he turns down events that are paying so much more than that all the time, from Maxim 100 to, Playboy parties to whatever you name it. They want to do functions there, all the way to presidential parties. They do all that stuff there. And he doesn't need the money. He doesn't want to do it. But I'm his friend. And he's like, yo, I've had some amazing nights with you, Syrus, out there partying. And, when we do it at the house one of these days, boom, perfect time, perfect situation.
Absolutely.
Perfect storm. And then I had to put together this list to truly find legends in the reality business. Like, they haven't been able to put together a reunion like this ever. What I did was not done before. I had 10 generations of reality TV out there having a great time. And it looked
like they were having a good time. Yeah.
It was amazing. Like, it was definitely an amazing time. We put it together well, and all my cast members came together well, and the sponsors came through. It's one of those things. It was beautiful. I don't know. I just came down from the high of the entire thing, I would say, this morning before my run. I went and ran a couple of miles and I came back and I'm just like, you mean I can relax a little bit now?
Well, watching the lives is really cool because it makes us feel like we were there. So.
Oh yeah, I jumped in a few different lives that were going on. And I was like, oh look, I can see all these people. Speaking of which, who was the tall, skinny chick dancing like her ass off in front of Tex DJ too? She was all in red. Was that?
That is red? I think she had on the red top with jeans, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
that
red
is Jason
jeans.
Cornwell from Boston. That's his wife. So my roommate from Boston.
Oh, okay. She was having a great time.
Yeah, she was.
I was jealous. I was like, oh, I need to come to one of these parties.
I watched some of the lives from the Sugar Factory too. And damn, those drinks, man.
No, amazing, right? I put it together pretty nicely, I gotta say. The weekend extravaganza is great. You guys did mess up my hike. It would have been great to do this from my hike with the rest of the cast. It was close to happening, and I was like, dude, I can't keep doing. I got to be at another party at 3 that I have to be at. So, I'm all over the place. But that would have been great to do this. Could you imagine doing a podcast while we're hiking? That would have been great. Come on.
I would have just fangirled the whole time.
I know, right? Same.
I'd be like, I have no questions. Just talk to me.
You're just a busy man.
You are a busy man, but you know what? Work hard.
You know what's funny? A lot of people don't even realize that I got on the Real World trying to get a job working behind the scenes for the Real World. In doing
I think
so,
that was one of our questions.
It was actually.
I put together all these different promotions and productions like this, but I went in to be a casting assistant to work behind the scenes. And so I'll do it the short form. Basically, I get there and there's 5 people interviewing me for some reason. I don't know why. It's a casting assistant, make copies, run to the store, go get drinks, whatever. And they end up asking me a series of questions, and basically I answered them completely and utterly wrong. And then and they wanted me to basically go type a business letter. I tried that. I succeeded, but I couldn't get the computer to print. It's pretty hilarious. This is when I graduated college already. And so long story short, back in the room and they asked me these questions about my life, and it ended up being the perfect storm because everything I said that was wrong ended up being right for the show. As in my background was working with children. And as you know, our rural Boston ended up working with children. Mm-hmm. And I had 3 resumes and I handed them one, and it happened to be the one geared toward working with kids and so forth. And it kind of spiraled. And from that point, she asked me 3 questions. She goes, tell me about yourself. I don't really know Syrus. And so I started talking. She's like, no. I really want to know Syrus. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, I've been on my own since 10th grade. I moved out of the house, blah, 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 ranked top 100 in basketball and all this stuff. And she's like, what? I want to know about Syrus. And I was like, oh shit. This is the lowest point in my life, you guys. I've done everything that society told me to do. I was first in my family to graduate college. I thought things would come easy and early. I was a standout person in my community my entire life. And I was taught, go to school, play ball, get a job, done. I was not able to find a job. I was losing my mind. And I met this guy at the basketball courts, and he got sick of hearing me bitch. And he sent me in for this interview. I go into this interview, do this interview. And at this moment, when she said, I want to know the real Syrus, I went back to the day I was born. And it was a miracle in itself. Back in the day, they had a black hearse and a white hearse basically used for ambulance or weddings, or funerals, sorry. And it was on a Sunday. My mom went into labor from church. We sped out down a dirt road in the black one was already being used. And it gave out of gas on a dirt road. They flagged down someone driving by. My grandma is like, what's going on? My dad passes out. My mom says I popped out like a bottle of champagne, y'all. That quick, out. Dad passes out. They flagged down a car coming down the dirt road. They put all of us in a little tiny Pinto and drive to the hospital. They think I'm gonna die. The head is pretty flat in the back because they laid me on the little thing in the middle. We got to the hospital. They rushed out, thought I was gonna die, cut the cord, ran me in the hospital before my mother. And that's how I came into this world. And I started my story there and brought
that is insane.
And here we are today.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah. That's amazing. But yeah, everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, that was a story that got me on the show right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely. That sort of was one of the questions, like what your life was like before you were cast on the show, and then how much it changed after you were cast.
Well, we got to understand 2 things. A lot of people don't know, but I went to college in Hawaii, basketball scholarship. But my summer job, I was on Baywatch. And
okay, see, I told Nadine that. I was like, he was on Baywatch.
So during the Baywatch thing, everyone from college remembers me from Baywatch, but other people don't. I only had a few speaking roles, but I was up to be the first Black lifeguard. You guys know who Tracy Bingham is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was Miss Black Barbie that year. I had no chance. I competed against her and I was like, oh my God, and that's real?
Do you know, I've never seen Baywatch.
It is what it is. It was the #1 show in the world at that time.
I probably shouldn't tell you that, but yeah, I've never seen it.
No, it's all good. Me and Red Speedos, no, it didn't go down like that. It didn't happen.
It's
so
cool that you were on there.
I tried. But yeah, it was quite the experience. So what I was doing then was going back and forth, and I already had notoriety in my community from basketball and so forth. We won everything my 10th grade year. I couldn't walk anywhere in the city. I was sponsored already in high school. So, I lived on my own in a condominium, a mile from the water. I had a Maserati bi-turbo for a few years. I was doing my thing. I was a standout athlete. I was that guy. I was supposed to go to a bigger school and so forth, but it didn't happen. But I still got my degree and I still played ball. And I started doing parties during Baywatch. So all those beautiful people I would bring to my clubs in LA. And so I'm killing it. So I've been doing this kind of thing my entire life. It ain't something new. And when I tell people a timeline, I've been doing these parties since 1992. Just think about that for a second.
That'll be 30 years next year.
Like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this.
That's insane too.
Wow.
Yeah. So when it comes to businesses and all this stuff, there's a reason why I do that. And so I relaunched a new production company now. So I'm RZA Entertainment.
Nice.
My dog, this is RZA.
Aww.
So I have my new company, RZA Entertainment,
So
and we do all types of parties and functions and whatever we need, from clowns,
Nice.
Clowns,
small people to giants. I have everything. And we will create whatever vibe you guys want or need. I can produce that. And we go from there, business as usual. Between that and my clothing line, I just stay busy. I have a new grooming line coming out though for men, Game Face. It's called Game Face, products for the beard, exfoliating skin, and to keep you nice and smooth up top. It's all anti-aging. You got to check it out. Yeah.
I love it because you're hitting all of our questions as we're
that is even having to ask, but that's
I talk a lot.
Beautiful.
I do want to know what your other dog's name is though.
There's RZA and then there's Lennox. This is Lindor.
Oh, so cute.
Those are great names. I love those names.
So Lindor was named after Lennox in Harlem, Boulevard in Harlem.
Oh, okay.
And RZA is clearly named after Wu-Tang. Yeah.
I love it.
Both great choices.
Who was supposed to be at the function and didn't make it. We'll talk about that.
Hey, I have a question for you. I saw on one of your stories, this is random, you had a coaster with a fleur-de-lis on it. Are you a Saints fan? Or was that just a gift or what?
My better half, our deal was this. This is some of our paraphernalia. My better half was not a Laker fan, and I am a true Laker fan. I bleed purple. And the deal was she'll come over and be a Laker fan, and I'll go that direction and be a Saint fan. So she worked for under the Obama administration for 8 years in disaster response, and she did Hurricane Katrina and all that, and spent a lot of time down there in New Orleans. And so she grew very fond of the city, the place, the people, and the culture. And so,
well, welcome to the Who Dat Nation. Love it.
Oh, are you in that too?
Oh yeah, I used to live in
Yeah, we get out there quite a bit. We get out there quite a bit too. So we have our love for the city for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm a big LSU fan too. So yeah.
Well, she's from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little conflict of interest, but
Yeah, it is. Awesome.
I'm just a Baltimore Ravens fan because that's where I'm from. Well,
the Baltimore? Just joking.
Baltimore Ravens, or Baltimore, as they say.
If I had to get down to it, though, I'm primarily a Laker fan. I honestly have never watched football like this till her. I know players and deal with them, but I don't. It's just I'm a basketball guy.
Well, you played basketball, so that stands.
Makes sense. Yeah,
don't be trying to call me out over there. You might be a Pelican fan.
It makes complete sense.
I feel like a stalker. I saw it and I told my husband, I'm like, I think he's a Saints fan.
Yeah, I mean, there's Saints all over.
She gets so excited.
Yeah, boys everywhere. But everything is, just so you know, when you do an event like that, it takes over your life. So my house is thrashed. My garage is thrashed.
I can imagine.
If you saw over here right now, you'd be like, what the? I'm like, yeah. So
I can imagine.
We have all the stuff. She DJs too, so we have all the.
Oh, cool.
It's a mess right now.
Well, we can't see it, so you're okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So I have a question because you're talking about how you do all these events and you've been doing them since '92, and I'm sure you've met a lot of big names even before and after you started on MTV. So in your season of Extreme Challenge, they had an episode where you guys were like doing like the roller derby, and they had like LL Cool J and Chris Klein. Was that like your first time meeting both of them?
Definitely not. I am a avid hip hop
Stories.
enthusiast, first off, and met L several times, and I've worked with him several times too. The life of a early hip hop artist going into like the new age has transformed himself several times. Those people meet so many people, they'll never remember it, ever.
Yeah.
And he happened to be a semi fan of the show, so it was a little different, but we had worked together prior to that a few times. So guys like LL and Shaq and Kobe, work with all these guys numerous times. And they do remember me. It just depends on the right situation. Snoop Dogg, Matt.
Well, you were the referee on the, was it Kobe Bryant and was it Reggie Miller?
Yes, they both did the challenge. And I was the ref for that. But I had worked with Kobe before. Kobe was actually a fan of mine. Him and his sister were actually fans of mine. He actually told me, I'm like, whoa, signed me a basketball. But it's always really weird to hear someone with status say they're a fan of yours. Or
I was going to say, I would like, I don't know, pass out or something. It's
I got one for you. I walked into a room at a gig I was having, and the only time I have ever frozen, this is crazy. I pull up and fucking Madonna rolls in. And I literally couldn't breathe, couldn't talk. And I don't think I've ever responded like that in the public. I locked up.
Wow.
And she came over and put her hand on me and was like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, and I just sat there. I was like, what the? And she hugged me and I was like, oh my fucking God. I couldn't fucking move. And then she walks out of the room and I was like, still frozen. And I remember thinking, whoa, what? I'll never forget that moment because I've only.
That's a great story though.
Oh, there's more.
Madonna hugged you.
Yeah. I got another stupid one too. I was at the Sundance Film Festival and we had a movie show in there. It was a Tommy Hilfiger party and they gave us these beautiful white puffy coats and we're all in the snow. And I'm talking to Forrest Whitaker and Patrick Swayze, and the three of us are sitting here and literally a huge joint and we're smoking. And I'm not really a smoker, definitely not at that time. I'm in the business now, but at that time I wasn't. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, hit pass. And I get it from Forrest Whitaker and I hit it again and I pass it to Patrick Swayze. I can't remember if I said this or not, but I know this is how the story goes. I thought to myself, damn, he looks like leather. Straight up. And I was like, looking at him, I'm like, fuck. And he passed it blunt and I got it back from from Forrest Whitaker. And we're thinking, did I fucking just say that? Or did I think that? And I'm sitting there like, did I just fucking say that? I'm like, whoa. And I go to hit it again. And I pass it to him. And I'm like, Leatherface? And I just fucking turned around and ran. I was like, I fucking just called Patrick Swayze Leatherface. And like, I've never been able to live it down. I don't know if I really truly went through the motion. But when I saw Forrest, he just laughed. So clearly I did that. I didn't see him again after that, but I'll never forget that story.
I love that. There's nothing better than when you get high and you end up saying things and you're like, oh my God, I said that out loud.
Well, the good thing is he was high too, so.
I hope. Have you done that before?
Yes. Not to Patrick Swayze, but right, I've done it.
It's not even about that. It's the fact that I actually said Leatherface. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Anyways.
That's a hilarious story. I love that. Now, every time I see a Patrick Swayze or Forrest Whitaker movie, that's what I'm going to think about.
Oh, there's a good Puck one too. I got a good Puck story.
Oh,
you guys remember the VMAs when Marilyn Manson was with the chick with the chain dress?
Mm-hmm.
The dress was
Rose McGowan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Rose
we were right
McGowan.
behind them on the red carpet. We're rolling in and Puck's talking and stuff too. I'm like, dude, you gotta relax, bro. I know we're reality, but dude, Marilyn Manson is at the top of his game right now. You can't be fucking with people. We get in there and they see this right behind Usher when he has on the cow jacket. a big like black and white spotted cow jacket. And up the stairs comes J-Lo. I'm sitting in the first seat and Buck's 2 seats over. And as they're coming, like 5 security guards, she reaches her hand out and grabs my hand. And I'm like, damn. And I grab her hand, I'm holding her hand, she's coming up the stairs, and Buck's like, damn, she got a fat ass. This is during the quiet part of the VMAs. And you can hear him yell that, it echoes, and security just fucking, and I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, Puck, what the fuck are you doing? Meanwhile, Puck's rocking a Kermit the Frog backpack, like chilling amongst all these crazy celebrities, and he bloods that out. I'm like, dude, you can't, like, she actually showed me some love, and you just fucked all that. Anyways.
That just sounds like something he'd do.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's to be expected with him.
Yeah, I would have expected, it would have been more surprising if he had not done something like that.
So if he comes on Allstars 2, you think he'll act the same way?
Yes.
Yes.
You're saying yes, and you haven't heard from this man in over 20 years. How do you know?
It might be a little toned down, but I just feel like that's just who he is. Like that's just a part of who he is.
Let me ask you, do you think he would be the same way?
He showed out a little bit at spring break a couple of years ago, I would say. But okay. I think like let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that the All-Star personalities were the same personalities that you guys saw on our original seasons or challenges prior?
Well, Katie wasn't.
What is that?
For the most part, but like matured versions. Yeah. Katie was still Katie. She just controlled how many F-bombs she dropped.
Well, I took up where she left off, apparently.
Yeah.
I was mad. I'm not mad now, but people need to understand that when you're a competitor and you feel like you've been done wrong or you lose, you're always going to be mad. Not mad at necessarily the person, but mad at the fact that I didn't win and mad at the fact that I didn't complete what I set out to do. And that's it. I don't live to lose. Do people understand I've been a winner my entire life? Some people will just want to win. I expect to win, period. Everything I do. You want to play strategories? I'm going to win.
Oh, I'm playing with my family.
I'm dead serious. Like, that's what's up. So,
yeah.
You know.
And we can be our own biggest critics, especially when we strive to win. And I feel like, personally, Beth had the best quote unquote redemption season to like really show who she was away from like that stigma that she had of being like this bully. I always thought Beth was hilarious. Like I always found her incredibly entertaining. I don't understand why people didn't like her. Why. And speaking of Beth,
I can tell you why.
Why?
It's so funny when people like Beth we've been friends for a long time. She's been in Los Angeles and she's actually sold shows. Okay. So think about that concept really quick. We're on TV, but when you sell a show or sell a concept or make something that's tangible in Hollywood, you're doing big things. So a lot of challengers want to be a part of that, and I've tried, and few have succeeded and a lot haven't. So when she put out a product, the calendar, Sexy Men of Reality TV, she put girls also in Playboy, and she was in Playboy as well. And people act like—
I know where you're going with this.
Well, people act like they don't understand, though, that Beth put that together.
Right.
Every time you see us, someone is paid, maybe not on social media, but someone is paid for us to be doing the gigs we do. Sure. So Beth set up 4 girls to be in Playboy, right? And she was in Playboy with them. So she got paid for herself. She got paid for her. She got paid for her. She got paid for her, right? So she got an agent fee for booking all of them, agent fee for booking herself, and then a talent fee for booking herself. That's more than all of them, right? And then you get the deal that you sign that with. Well, the girls didn't all understand. Some of them did, some of them didn't. Some of them didn't even care. I know Estella was cool with the things that had transpired and the communication that they had concerning that stuff. But people don't understand how business usually works. And people were mad. People were livid. And I'm like, how are you mad at her for getting money?
Doing her job.
Yeah, you would be
basically just doing her job. Yeah.
So it is what it is. But there was also the element of cast members belittling and trying to block other cast members. Say if I get a call from some Zivia, right? They want to work with me. If I have a problem with someone else, why would I tell them that Zivia wants them too? Block that.
Right.
And people would do that all the time. I would laugh at it because I encourage everyone to eat. If I'm eating, you can guarantee someone else is eating with me. But that's Syrus. That's me as a person. I care about people. Some other cast members like, fuck that. Selfish, selfish, selfish. Me. Fuck you. And when you do that, you create bad synergy. And it might be good business for you, but bad business for everything around you. And Beth is about making money, setting up contracts, involving other people. Everything we're doing now involves other people. Me and Beth have several business streams going. It involves other people.
Right.
So, that followed by some really bad nicknames they threw at her back then carried over.
Yeah.
And they were mean to her for no reason. And then it turned into something that it wasn't. I'm like, Beth, we go on TV this time. Your light's gonna shine. I'm here for you. I promise you, you will shine. Just be yourself. And she was skeptical about even doing it in the first place.
I felt so bad for her when she said she went on there and she actually had friends this time. I was like, oh.
That's my girl, dude. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna see her today probably again.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's amazing.
We see each other on the
How did you and Beth become such good friends? That was one of my questions, because I know on Battle of the Sexes one, like that was brought up that you guys were like really cool, but how did that happen?
Her show was in Venice, and I'm from Santa Monica, which is right next door to Venice. So we inherently just started seeing each other a lot. And when you do stuff like that, there's a really good chance that you can just, be out there together. And we end up being everywhere all the time together. That wasn't Beth's first time at Michael Jackson's house. That was not her first time.
I know she was like Axl Rose's personal assistant or something before Real World. Yeah. You guys are also interesting and did cool stuff before you even got on TV. So I actually have a question sort of around Beth. I had read that you, Beth, and Eric Neese were potentially putting out a show where you were going to do like the Real World, but with OGs. Is that still possibly happening, or?
There's a lot of things on the bill. I can only tell you this. Personally, I have 7 shows right now.
Great.
And I've been writing shows for years. It's nothing new. There's concepts out there, and a bunch of us are trying to produce them and make them happen. Time will tell. So you can't talk about some of the stuff.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. Like time will tell. There's things out there.
Well, all I can say is if that kind of show comes out, I'm going to be watching it. Like no
100%.
Yeah,
totally watching it.
What'd you guys think of the All-Star Challenge though this year? What'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, like a lot of people have said, I've been watching this show for a really long time. I'm only in my early 30s, but I've been watching it since I was a teenager. I've seen a lot of the seasons multiple times, and over the last few years there's been so much change within how the show is done and how it's structured and like how things are happening. And to have the All-Stars, it brought back an air of why I fell in love with the show. Really? And of course, seeing some of you guys that I haven't seen whom I love, like you, Beth, even getting to see like Janae come back, haven't seen her in a few years, and even seeing people I didn't really remember that well from the earlier seasons. It was more authentic feeling. Like the drama felt like there was some like genuity to it. It wasn't all, because we're in front of a camera, let's fake like we hate each other. And I mean, I understand like most of you guys probably don't actually dislike or hate each other.
Wait, what do you mean?
Cause,
a lot.
I said not all.
I unfortunately, I'm different. I'm the guy, I try to get on with everything.
Oh, we get into that.
But there's some real hatred for sure on these shows.
Yeah.
Like, don't think that stuff is fake. Maybe the new one could be a little different.
That's what I'm saying, the newer ones.
If cats hate each other back then, good chance they won't.
You could tell.
And I guarantee you, if there's a second season, you guys will see some shit. I guarantee you.
Speaking of.
Well, I hope there's a second season.
Yeah, me too. So speaking of like, having beef or bad relations with somebody, the whole Alton thing, like how were you guys before you guys got into that house?
Me and Alton were straight. We've always been straight. Like I tell people, we've toured together, never had any issues with him. We weren't close. But at the same time, I'm not the kind of person to hold grudges and do all that shit. My life isn't about that. I need people to think first that this is actually a game. It's not anything other than a game. People say, lie, cheat, steal. I was like, it's a game, guys. Like, it's a game. Yes, call out a cheater if you feel like that's cheating. Yes, it's that and the other. But in the end, it's just like life. Shit happens. Let's go. He tried to call me out. I didn't let it out the box because I didn't want to put it out there. First mission with Ace, he tried to get his seller to put me in. I knew that. So in my mind, I'm like, once I lost, it was going on. I don't give a fuck. And he happened to, you guys don't see how long that heel was. How do you look like that? I think my term was I had a male eye boner when I saw this man with his shirt off. So let's just be real. How does someone shredded to bits, gas out in maybe not even a quarter of a mile, and they don't show you guys what's happening? I'm looking at the camera. Yo, what the fuck? I'm from Santa fucking Monica. I ain't got no give up in me. This dude is 10 yards behind me. No law. The only rule was keep your hand on the law.
Right.
He's 10 yards behind me. The camera's in my face. I'm gangbanging. Yo, what the fuck? Because I know no one wants to go against him. On my team, who are you going to pick to go against? Probably the older, bigger guy. Not the younger, all-around athletic, should I say yes, or this other perfect physical specimen, who's left? Syrus. And so in my mind, I'm like, yo, he should be disqualified. He didn't do the one thing they told us not to do.
Right.
But I know the way the challenge works. You never know what they're going to call. So all I can do is call attention to that in hopes of everyone else seeing that and understanding what's taking place with our team. Sabotage. He sabotaged me. And I'll leave it at that. Because I don't see how there's two women would both have.
Yeah.
And one
and the whole his shoes were too small just doesn't make sense to me.
But you know what? I took a lot of grief online for it. People act like I did it. You let your emotions get it. No, motherfucker. Homeboy called me out. I called him the fuck out, like any other man would do. If you're a man, maybe
if people are telling you you're letting the emotions get the best of you, then they have clearly never watched you, because you the way you react is the way that's just true to who you are. You're a passionate person. You're gonna call shit out when you see it.
You would think most people would call them out if you're seeing them do something they shouldn't be doing. I would. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I totally wish that someone had done that the right way, but I think it's a mixed mind thing, because some people are like, dude, in the end, I don't want to go against Alton. I want to get rid of him. But some people are like, fuck, in order to win this, we need Alton, because you don't know if it's going to be team or singular. Like, you really don't know what it's going to be. And I think people get inside themselves and they look at him. You can't look at him and be like, I want to go against that guy. You're not going to fucking say that. You know, since then I'm getting right though. I'm ready for my man. I'm getting ready.
Right.
Hey, I will say, you asked what we thought about the All-Stars. I love that you can cuss and it's not bleeped out.
I fucking love it, but I fucking hate it at the same time. Because, you know, I got a lot of families with friends and kids and they don't want to expose them. But people don't see me like that. So I'm not going to be dropping mad F-bombs and talking like a pirate out in the public. I do public speaking in front of
course,
people. So a lot of people have that professional image of me. A lot of people have like this hip hop hosting image of me, but they don't have the real motherfucker image of me. And now they do, because my outro was pretty fucking insane. Apparently, I was fucking heated, y'all. If you know, the twisted ankle still coming down the ankle and trying to figure that game out was a lot. It was a lot. And that was an F-bomb factory.
I don't blame you. I would have been the same way. And then I am curious. So obviously the reunion just aired a couple days ago. I was very surprised at how few people there were.
You know what?
Why
I'm
weren't
still
you
mad
there?
I wasn't there.
Were you not invited?
I don't know if I can talk about that.
Okay.
Let's just say.
No worries.
If I could have been there, I would have been there.
Understood.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was interesting. And we did have a question from Joe, who was the one who originally reached out to you to set this up. And he just wanted to know, because obviously they did like an aftermath show after every one. With the aftermath show, were you guys like contractually obligated to participate, or was it just kind of voluntary? Whoever wanted to do it could do it. Because some people were on there like every freaking episode.
I don't, you know what? I never even heard about it. But like some of us have, like I had so much stuff going on, I don't even know half the things happening. But if they ever reach out to me, I'm there. And that's just the way I lead my life. I have enough space to kind of do things. And, you know, I'm planning to get my marriage, by the way. Let me get that out of the way. You know, I'm planning my wedding now. So,
nice.
And hopefully we'll have a little Syrus coming. No, she's not pregnant, but I do want to have kids, I think.
That's amazing.
If it's a guy,
I wish you guys
it will
the
be
best.
Syrus, of course. If it's a girl, it'll be Sayonara.
I like that. Oh my God, that's funny.
So a little boy that leader, Sayonara.
Like a dad joke. You're already practicing. Look at you.
We've been joking about this for a while, me and my girl. So it's
well, I wish you the best of luck, and I'm sure you know everything will work out beautifully. Honestly, in my opinion, we just have a couple more questions before we let you go, because I know you said you had somewhere else that you needed to be. Oh my gosh, who are some of the craziest people you've met on the show?
I'm gonna say, you know, Derek is pretty out there. He has grown to control himself much more. And I would add to that saying that I think CT might be the baddest motherfucker I've ever met. And I met a lot of bad motherfuckers, pro athletes in all sports and all that shit. I've never bet against CT.
Nice.
Yeah, he's just a different beast.
Yeah.
Who's the funniest?
Oh God, the funniest. Me. No, funniest.
You can say you. That's fine.
No, I think Timmy from Road Rules is one of the dudes. I think
Oh.
Theo is up there, but it's a different kind of, you know, comedy because that's what he does. But
yeah,
Timmy's humor. That dude had me gas.
Speaking of Timmy, though, he broke up what could have been potentially TJ's death when you guys got into a fight.
Why would people even say TJ's death? Come on. It's like
you
this,
would have
guys.
broken him in half. What are you talking about?
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You looked really pissed off, though.
I was mad because
Yeah.
you know what? I'll just say this. In organized sports, when you're competing, usually the referee moves around.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy was chilling on the other side. That's it. No excuses. I got my ass whooped, Derek. Part 2, me and you at some point. You my boy and all, but we have to go at it at some point. But I think like emotions, man. Emotions happen. It is what it is. Me and TJ never had beef. We speak now. We cool, you know.
It was funny. You could tell it wasn't gonna go anywhere because you know he even said Timmy saved his life. So,
but he said he would have took me out though too. But I told him, I'm like, you know what, man? If this is gonna get me on the Allstars, fuck you, TJ.
I love that. That's beautiful. Tia, did you have any other questions before I just kind of go off some of the numbers?
You haven't asked that you really want to ask, that you really want to know. And I love calling people out.
I think I asked everything. We were gonna ask you if you could pick one male and one female partner, who would you choose? Like if on a future show or whatever.
From the standpoint of
whoever you would want on your team.
I'll just say I'll pick 2 of each. 2 men. I got to go with CT and Darrell.
Okay.
2 women. I'll go with Beth and probably Laurel.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
So I got
brave man. I would never pick Laurel. She's great.
No, I think I'd
competitively, but I think personality wise, her and I would fight the whole time.
Yeah, but I like what she stands
for. She'd win for you though.
I like what she stands for, and I like her. I like her growth that I've seen, you know, outside of the show. I like that, and you know, she's someone I think that I would be fine with. But I have no problem not taking orders, but listening to women and working with them. As a man, I don't have
Yeah.
to be the alpha person in whatever.
You're
that
not a
is.
fessy.
So when it comes to that, it is what it is. Like my woman, like I like, my woman's so much smarter than me now in life. And I'm attracted to that, to a
Right.
strong, powerful, thinking woman. To me is the best combination because I don't have to be the alpha. And a lot of men don't have that.
Yeah.
They have to be the alpha.
Right.
That's very true. I'm fortunate my guy lets me rule the roost. So
Wow.
I'm right there with the
Well,
fiance.
my girl's a
I mean, we're
boxer. She's a
equal.
boxer too. So
Oh, nice.
Nice.
not
I
saying
love
she
that.
fucked me up,
Oh,
but
that's
she is
amazing. But if she ever needed to, she could recreate the Arissa and Beth, and then she could box
You know what? How cool is that to see those two hanging out? At a
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
parties together.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the second party I threw? Was at Warren Beatty's house?
No.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was in bed.
No, not the same night. This was weeks ago.
No, I didn't see that
For
one.
the episode where Arissa and Beth got in a fight,
Yeah.
we had a party and we watched it in the Warren Beatty Theater room.
That's amazing.
And I had like probably 40 people over there for that. It was pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. But that's also kind of like, one of the things that I do like about the show now with social media is we can see that's a situation like Arissa. Like Arissa's not like that 24/7. It was just
Right.
a situation where because of her, her food allergies and everything happening just gets to you, and that happens. So it's nice to see like, okay, we're not like this 24/7. Like we are regular.
Yeah, I mean, it's
too.
Arissa's a different type of person. She's really cool, but also Beth is a different kind of person. And so the premise of why we were casting on our separate shows was 7 complete strangers living in the house together, forced to communicate. That doesn't mean good or bad, but you're forced to communicate. So they clearly cast your personality that's gonna have some issues with other personalities, period.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. They want fire.
Gotta have drama.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It was an experiment when it first started, and an experiment I would say worked.
Yeah.
Is there anybody from Allstars that you were, other than maybe Alton, that you were cool with beforehand that you're not cool with now?
I don't lead my life like that, guys. I'm cool with everybody. Unless you physically come for me, we cool. It was a game. After the game's over, we can high five. We can hug it out. Go have a beer, coffee, whatever. I don't care. It's not that serious.
That's a great attitude to have. So.
But it's
Yeah.
like that. Like where I'm from, what we do, we go at each other. Blood, sweat, tears. The game's over. We hugging, high-fiving. I'll catch you at the spot later.
Right.
That's just it. But when you compete,
Yeah.
you compete. Letarian will tell you, we go at it. I mean, we go at it. I'm talking fuck you, the whole time. My girl was like, she sees me here and then she sees me play ball. She's like, damn, you talk shit. This is what I do. And so I go into that Syrus, and it's another level of Syrus, but it's me. The reason I can get through life happily, because I can get to the courts and let it all out.
Yeah.
It's all out there. I don't have to worry about going to the gym if I don't want. I go to the basketball courts, I let everything out, and I'm cool after that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just it. That's my release. So that's
Speaking of, so obviously we saw that Yes won Allstars. Do you enjoy the person who won? Like, do you think the right person won? Do you feel it should have been somebody else? Or do you feel that like what some accusations were that certain people got to coast when others
my
couldn't?
real theory is this. When you have men competing against women, the men that are closer to what women are and women's strengths will be the man that usually wins. Meaning the man that can hold his body weight the best with endurance is probably going to be a good winner. Of course, you have to have puzzle skills and so forth. But if you look at the body types on the show, I would probably point to Yes. And people think, oh, he's not as buff as, that's not about that shit. If we got to hang from this thing over here for half an hour, who's dropping first? Probably that big ass buff dude, because that's a lot of weight to hold up there. And you got to conceptually think to yourself, you have to make this fair for men and women to win. That's a hard job. And the events have to kind of level off at somewhere. Not saying that women are weak, because they're clearly stronger in certain aspects.
Mhm.
Seeing who was that basically did she drag Mark to the finish line or whatever when they were running? Because I forget who it was in the running, but the girl came first. Or CT. I mean,
Oh yeah, Amber
she
and
was
CT.
not great and everything, but when it came to that, she was killing it.
She wasn't
have
even
to run.
tired.
Yep.
She was like, come on, man, pick it
That's
up.
what I'm saying. So all these macho men don't really get it. You know what I mean? And so you have to think of the challenge, though. They have to try and figure out to make things even and equal for everybody.
Right.
And they do a pretty good job.
I think that's part of why we all love it, though, because you get to see people doing all kinds of different things and who can pull out
different strategies.
Yeah, different strategies. Yeah, I think that's why we all love it.
So do you kind of agree with what Kellyanne said about the way they did the winners, which I mean, I agree with personally. If you're going to do one winner, I hate the one winner thing when you have males and females competing, because like you said, there are certain strengths that women have that men don't, and vice versa. Do you agree with what she said about the equality, that they should have made it more equal and given more of a chance to having a male and a female winner? Or what are your thoughts on it, I should say?
I just think that it was the first one for one out the gate. And I think that if you have one winner, you just have one winner. I think that the finals should have, if they break it down to a smaller group. Well, we didn't have that much time too, though. There's all these things that are in there.
Right.
We all have lives now. People have kids and all this stuff and businesses and so forth, so they can't be gone for as long. So if they shorten that down, there has to be a sweet spot equation in there that will work for everybody. And I thought they did a pretty good job based on the time that we had to film that. And I think women versus men and the way it was, there's no real coast through. People didn't get chosen because they didn't want to go against that person. You know?
Well, and I think what you said too, it was the first one. So yeah, you guys are kind of feeling your way. Would you go back? Like if
Hell yeah. Is it tomorrow? Yeah. Let's go. But my thing is like I feel like people want strong people there if they think it's going to be a team and so forth. But that's one way of thinking. The other way is like, I want to get rid of these strong players early so I have a better chance to win.
Right.
No one ever really threw it out there like that. They didn't want to talk about that part of it. And I think that weighs into different strategies. Me, I'm kind of like a mid-range dude. I do want to be number one, but I realize placing right above the middle is a sweet spot for me. Not as controversial. I ain't gotta make these crazy decisions. Who I want to go in and want to do that. I ain't gotta do all that. I can sit right there, be cool, and still whoop a little bit of ass. You know, I think I came in first like twice. I was only there for 5 missions, so we came in for like twice. So like I did my part, but I wasn't showcases. Boom, Syrus is gonna win this whole challenge. You know what I mean? Nehemiah was such a monster in so many events. He had this light on him. I was like, dude, they're gonna, at some point, they coming for your head. Like they gonna come for you. And he got thrown in there a few times, you know? I think of all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, if he could have not come in first that much.
Well, you put a target on your back.
Yeah, you kind of do. So
yeah, it's absolutely. And you kind of have to figure out how to play the game as it goes along. Like it's constantly changing depending on who stays, who goes, who wins, who doesn't. And I think we definitely saw some of that. Do you have any other questions, Tia?
No, just if you want to plug anything that you've got going on.
Yeah.
Me plug? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Guys, if you guys want to know what's happening with me, check out my website. It is IamSyrus.com. I'll have a few things featured on there, and not give you too much, but I give you a little bit of the Challenge All-Star stuff and a little bit of clothing maybe. But check out my clothing website as well. It's blackdesignerclothing.com. And stay tuned for the new joint. Game Face will be my products. Men, facial, skin products, beard products. Whether you're black, white, blue, or green, we have something for you. The exfoliating scrubs, anti-aging. I'm out there. Got a few more things dropping that I can't really talk about right now, but be on the lookout because I'm doing any and everything possible that they're allowing me to do. And just stay tuned. This truck ain't done yet.
I love it. No, absolutely. And I definitely hope we do get to see you on a version of Allstars again. Thank you again for sitting down with us, chatting with us. This was so much fun. I probably could have kept
So much
talking for
fun.
hours, but I know you're a busy man. So we really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us for a little bit, answer our questions. We're going to get this uploaded to our YouTube. I'll definitely send you the link so that way you can check it out once it's all together. And just thank you again. And we'll be following you on your social media, supporting you and all your other ventures and just being part of the fandom.
Let me apologize again, though, for postponing on you guys twice, I believe.
It's okay.
Don't
We
apologize.
forgive you.
I felt so bad, though. I was like, I think I'm all that. What the fuck am I doing? I've never done that. So I am truly sorry.
It
Okay.
worked out great, actually.
Just send us an invite to the next party and all will be forgiven.
I may hold you to that. Now, what
Yeah.
city are you guys in?
I'm
I'm in
outside
Orlando.
Baltimore. Yeah.
Orlando. Okay. Because I had people flying in from 10 different states for this event.
That's
wow.
amazing.
So
I could have hopped on a flight with Anissa. She's only in Philly.
she's never in Philly, though.
I'm not far from Miami, and everybody goes there. So.
Okay. Well, I may get married down that way, so you may get an invite.
Oh,
to
nice.
on my function.
Okay.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you again, Syrus. I hope you take care and we'll definitely be talking with you again soon.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.